Have you ever had a learning experience that just stuck with you, that for whatever reason, that lesson, that moment was extremely memorable and it either has impacted you for a long time or you can imagine that it would? Because what I find is that learning about how you learn or learning about how we learn as human beings is a really important subject because as human beings, we are learners. One of our core instincts, if not our core instinct, is to learn. And so when we learn how to learn, not only can we be better learners, but we can be better parents, better managers to help other people to learn, better leaders. And so what I wanted to do today is to share with you a story from my childhood, from my past, about an experience that was extremely memorable from a teacher that did an extremely good job. And my hope for you is that hopefully you'll share with me some of your experiences, at least one experience where you learned in an extremely memorable way. And also we're going to unpack why those experiences were so memorable. And we can take away from that how we can become better teachers and also how we can become hopefully better students and better learners. So when I was a kid, I was about 8 years old or so, and after school in elementary school, they had an after school program which was on computer programming. And I didn't know anything about it. I just knew that computers were really smart and this is the future, computers. And so I go into this classroom setting and each student gets their own little Macintosh computer, whatever it was at the time. This big box on the table, and the teacher says, he taught us what a mouse was. I thought that was really interesting too. That was kind of memorable because the mouse actually icon on the screen, if I remember correctly, was a mouse, which was pretty interesting from that experience. And so he says, this is a mouse, which I thought was it's just weird and interesting, kind of stuck with me. But he said, type into the computer 0 plus 0 equals. And he said, when you press enter, what do you think the computer is going to give you the answer for? And of course, every one of the kids in the class, or a lot of us, went, well, of course it's going to say 0. Computers are really smart. We know that. And so he says, okay, now press this return key or this enter key. And you press enter, and on the screen it says 0 plus 0 equals 0. Haha. Like, not the most memorable learning moment, definitely exactly as we had expected had occurred. No surprise there. And okay, thanks, professor. Really appreciate that. So now he says, okay, so now I want you to type 0 plus 1 equals. Now, what do you think it's going to say? And I'll ask this to you if you're watching this now. What do you think the computer's going to say? 0 plus 0 equals 0. 0 plus 1 equals? And of course, the large majority of the students who spoke out said it's going to say 1. 0 plus 1 equals 1. So he says, press return, and the computer says 0 plus 1 equals 0. And so there was this shocking kind of a jarring moment there because, well, computers were supposed to be pretty advanced, pretty smart technology, and it doesn't even know 0 plus 1. How stupid is this machine? And the teacher proceeded to make a point. He said, the computer is just an empty mind. It doesn't know what it hasn't yet learned. And so, well, the computer right now, it never learned 0 plus 1 equals 1. We have to teach it that first in order for it to learn. And he proceeded to teach us how to teach the program to learn, the computer, to learn 0 plus 1. And then now he said, okay, now type in 0 plus 1 equals. You press the enter key, the return key, and it said 1. And for me, that was such a memorable moment because on so many meta levels of learning in there. But for me, that was such a memorable moment because of a couple of reasons. When I kind of think back as to why of all of my childhood experiences in school, was that one of the ones that really stuck with me. And I think it was for a couple of reasons. Of course, there's many more, and this is just my own explanation. I'm sure maybe you can share a couple of reasons why you think that this experience was so memorable. But one of the reasons is because the teacher used questions. If he would have just said, okay, everybody, class, 0 plus 1, the computer doesn't know that yet because we didn't teach it, so now we're going to teach it how to do it. Here's how you do that. Now type 0 plus 1 equals 1, it would not have stuck with me. It was because he used questions. What do you think it's going to be 0 plus 1 equals? What's your guess? So that's one of the things is using questions. If you type 0 plus 0, what's it going to say? If you type 0 plus 1, what do you think it's going to say? Which leads to a second point, I think, about why that learning experience was so memorable, is because it led our minds in a direction, and then we had this kind of a jarring shift, an unexpected moment, which is like a twist ending in a movie where it's like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, or the misdirect in a joke, like, whoa, this kind of shocking, jarring state that opens the learning to be more sticky, to be more memorable, and to connect it with emotions. So this was just a little story from my childhood of one of my significant learning experiences that stuck with me for 30 plus years now. And well, what I want to hear from you is either if you have another idea, explanation as to why that experience was so memorable, feel free to write that in the comments. And or if you have a very memorable childhood learning experience, I'd love to hear that story from you, why you think it was memorable, or if you have any questions about how I could help you and we can help you to figure out why was that so memorable. What this can help us to do is to learn about learning. So again, we can become better learners, and also we can become better parents, better managers, and better teachers. So I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, feel free to like and share it. And well, if you don't know me, my name is Jason Schneider. I work with coaches, leaders, and high potential individuals to unleash the highest and best of human potential using cutting-edge psychological models such as neurolinguistic programming, neurosemantics, coaching skills, and self-actualization psychology. I hope you learned a little bit about learning, and I look forward to hear what you learned in the comments section. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in a future video and perhaps a future course.